Kids don't fix a marriage, they test it. They test how you handle exhaustion, how you handle responsibility, and how you stay connected when there's very little left at the end of the day. I'm Meghna, I'm a psychologist, and I'm also a parent. So I say this not just from theory, but from lived experience and also by working with lots of other couples who've lived through this. I've been the tired one, the one whose body changed, the one whose night broke into pieces. And I've also worked with couples who love each other deeply, but have somehow started feeling a bit misaligned after they've had a baby. So what actually shifts after you have a baby? A baby doesn't just bring joy. It adds responsibility, unpredictability, and constant demand. Time shrinks, sleep disappears, and that margin you once relied on for patience, connection, and repair gets very thin. So when marriage becomes harder, it's not because love is reduced. It's because load has increased. Most conflict after a baby isn't about disagreement. It's about uneven exhaustion, unspoken expectations, and that quiet feeling of, am I doing more than I can hold? And when these feelings don't have space, they tend to come out sideways as irritation, withdrawal, and repeated arguments over small things. After a baby, both parents are tired, but that tiredness is often not the same kind. For many mothers, exhaustion is layered, being needed through the night and carrying the mental load. Feeding, routines, appointments, remembering, anticipating, planning. And because so much of this happens quietly, in the body, in the mind, late at night, it often goes unseen. And why many husbands or partners don't realize this is because even though life changes for both, it's not in the same constant bodily way. They may still get uninterrupted sleep some nights, still step out of the house and return to familiar rhythms, still have moments where their body is truly off duty. So when they think I'm tired too, why does it feel so different? It's usually not because they don't care. It's because they are not carrying the same invisible load. This is where emotional labor becomes visible. One partner is tracking needs, emotions, schedules, logistics. The other may not even realize how much is being held. And this gap doesn't mean that one person doesn't love the other. It means that the system hasn't been rebalanced yet. Intimacy requires safety and energy. And after a baby, both are often in short supply. When the body is tired and the mind is constantly anticipating the next need, intimacy takes a backseat. That doesn't mean that the attraction has gone. It doesn't mean that the relationship is broken. It means that the nervous system is prioritizing survival. This stage of a marriage isn't asking couples to be more romantic. It's asking them to be more honest about limits, about capacity, and about what support actually looks like now, not what it looked like before children. And what helps here isn't getting things perfect. It's slowing down the story you tell yourself. Before jumping into they don't care, pause and consider. They might just be exhausted too. So when you're overwhelmed, before it hardens into resentment, ask for help instead of staying quiet and keeping score. These are not signs that there's something wrong. These are signs that you are adjusting to a new season. So if marriage feels harder after a baby, it doesn't mean you chose the wrong partner. It means you're navigating one of the biggest transitions of your life. And I do understand that there are times that you may talk to your partner and they may still not understand. At times like these, try to be patient, try to find your emotional circle of help, whether that's your friends, your parents, other mothers going through the same thing, because that emotional support is very important. I'd also like to add one thing here. I know in Indian families, when couples go through a lot of problems, a lot of people say, have children and it'll get resolved. That is the worst thing to do. Marriage needs to be strong before you have children, because children can really test a marriage. They can push your marriage to the limit. So if you're already struggling in your marriage, if you already have problems, having children will make it much worse. So it's always good to be emotionally and mentally prepared when you have children. And this is for both partners, not just mothers. Your life changes. So make sure you go on your holidays, you have your fun before you get married. Because once you have children, life does slow down. And do remember, this is just a phase. And it's a phase that may seem like it's very long, but it goes away really fast. So if you're struggling with this, or you know someone else who's struggling with this, then do share this video with them. Because the goal here is to build a little village or a little community where people can share their feelings and talk about their feelings so they're not alone anymore. Because yes, parenting, motherhood, pregnancy, postpartum, all these things can be extremely lonely. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.